suck at this practice and rewards are a scam. You try to distract us while you're waving your hands. It's not something I have to do, I'm having fun doing this, cause I get to fucking roast your ass.
So we're at Walmart right now. I don't think I have the proper attire to start this video, so we're gonna look for some clothes that'll make me look hip and cool. What the hell? Someone just left these here. What dumbasses? Hell yeah, dude. This is definitely a necessity. Oh, this looks pretty cool. What do you think? Do I look cool? Hey, fuck off.
But I'm flexing. Can you get this shit out my mentions? How can I be that bitch? I'm sleeping, I'm mentioned.
Hey guys, welcome to Criticism That Will Be Mistaken for Attacking. Today's episode is about Progress YT. For those of you who don't know who this man is, then what the fuck are you doing? Progress is a gift from Jesus. I mean, this fucker can do it all. He makes music.
We've been pouring up, yeah, we ain't throwing up. Hey, got a bad bitch running on the floor and stuff.
He's a commentator.
Oh, hey, Jimmy and,
And he does this all with just under 1,000 subs. He's a miracle worker, I tell ya. A miracle worker that has a couple of issues when it comes to his personality and his content. Believe it or not, he's actually gotten criticism from his peers when it comes to these issues, but whenever Progress gets any sort of criticism, he'll tend to either A, be a dick, or B, be a dick. So I decided to make a video highlighting these issues because it seems like that's the only way he'll listen at this point. The first thing that you notice about Progress is that he seems to have a bit of an ego. In fact, he's aware of this, so let's hear his justification.
I have a big ego because I'm pretty educated on what I'm talking about. A lot.
Ego, on the other hand, means there is an excessive use of the first-person singularity pronoun.
The thing is, egos can be fine if it's for something like a YouTube persona, as long as he's doing it for entertainment and he isn't annoying about it. But he's not entertaining, and yes, he can be pretty annoying.
Unironically, of course, I have done this as a joke before.
Wait, so you're telling me messages like this, these were jokes too? Thanks for clearing that up, Progress. I was a bit worried. He also sends other DMs that seem pretty egotistical but are obviously jokes, and yet he still comes across as a dick in the process. Speaking of coming across as a dick in the process, this is my next problem with Progress's personality. In my opinion, Progress can be a dick. I'm going to let a friend of mine, a YouTuber by the name of Willie Mac Show, share his experience with Progress. Then you can decide for yourself how much of a tool Progress seemed to be throughout this entire situation. Psych, loser! Did I scare you for a second and you thought Willie Mac was actually going to be in this video? Well, here's a news flash, Progress. A lot of my previous videos all have cameos in them, and I gotta start doing shit on my own like a man. Back on topic, Progress and Willie got into a little bit of a scuffle behind the scenes, and it all starts with Quite. Progress made a video on Quite, which I will be discussing a tad bit in this video. Don't worry. Later, Willie Mac makes a video on Quite. So what does Progress do? He gets the bright idea to call Willie out, both on Twitter and in his comment section, basically saying that Willie's video was watered down and didn't have original points, even though the entire point of this video is that it's a part of a series where he summarizes people's content. And as for the unoriginal points, there's only so much you can say about Quite. The dude makes bad videos. Big fucking deal. Anyway, Progress and Willie talked it out in DMs, and Progress says, you should credit all the previous Quite videos that came out before yours because you had unoriginal points. That makes no damn sense. I mean, by that awful logic, Progress should be crediting me.
Storm away, burn everything, and send him to jail.
There's a difference between having unoriginal points and stating common knowledge, Progress. And now I'm hearing, and I'm not confirming this, but after all of that, Progress wants to make a diss track on Willie Mac Show. Why? So that's a big example of Progress being a dick to other people. Gosh darn it, Progress, you keep disappointing me today, and we haven't even critiqued your content yet. I have an addiction to music by Progress. I couldn't care less what anyone else thought of it. Hi, my name is Thomas Turk, and I have an addiction to music by Progress. Some might argue that his song Fucking Banger sounded like he was constipated, and if that's true, then I listen to Constipation 24/7.
Give it hard, get it good, give me tire.
I was pretty skeptical about that song at first until I found out my favorite rapper, Little Sausage Fest, was in it. Now I listen all the time to this day. I couldn't care less what anyone else thought of it.
It sounds like my drunk uncle after trying to eat a whole box of nails.
You know what? Screw you. I want to be just like Progress. I want to live in Canada. You know, I heard they have really good bacon. One time I cut the word Progress into my left arm. The cuts were deep enough so it faded away, but I have no plans to change my addiction. Ever. Let's move on to the content portion, because there are a lot of issues in that department. One issue being timing. As you can see, a lot of his recent videos are pretty fucking long, yet they don't have to be. Progress's video on Quite is 40 fucking minutes long. Wanna know why? Because points like the one where Quite has bullshit Patreon rewards goes on for 10 minutes. It could have been way shorter if you just got to the damn point quicker.
The reward tiers you have on your Patreon are some of the worst. So at the $1 tier, in the $5 tier for Quite's Patreon, at the $10 tier is where I start to get a little bit upset.
How is it so hard to say Quite's Patreon rewards are bullshit? He shouldn't give this away for this amount or this away for this amount. It's not cool. Quite has some bullshit Patreon rewards. For the $1 tier, you get nothing. For the $5 tier, you get a role in his Discord server that basically does nothing except state that you donated to him. For $10 a month, you get a Discord role and your name in the description of his future videos. Not a ripoff at all. $20 and he'll send you a voice clip with all the previous rewards and he'll say some dumb things like, I like penis, lol. $30 and you get to be a mod in his streams, even though being a mod is a job and you're basically paying for work. And finally, for $50, you may or may not read your shitty tweets and a personal video clip where Quite streaks for you. I don't know. Speaking of points, that brings us to the next issue with Progress's content. His points.
I'd start to get a bit worried now if I was being you. I'd be taking down the video before the strike goes through.
Progress tries to be so diverse in his opinions that his points can be sometimes abysmal. For example, again, in his Quite video.
I was just getting over a cold yesterday, and then I immediately managed to catch another one, so my throat hurts like shit, and this turtleneck is not helping at all. Luckily, I have a homemade Rub-A-Knee to help soothe my throat.
You don't know if there's somebody out there who, like, knows what lean is, like, as a concept, that it's a drug or something, but they just don't know what it actually is made out of, and then they just see you making this, and they're like, oh, okay, it's that easy, and then they end up just deciding, well, if Quite showed it on his YouTube channel, it probably isn't too bad. Take the videos down that have any mention of you showing how to make the lean, because that is the dumbest thing ever.
That was the stupidest point I have ever heard. You can compare this situation to literally any type of entertainment. Just because you see Quite make lean in an opening skit doesn't mean you'll be dumb enough to try it. And even if you are, it isn't Quite's fault. It's your fault for being so retarded. I picture Progress as like one of those news stations that are like, your child should not be playing this game.
Take the videos down that have any mention of you showing how to make the lean.
I have no idea why other people in commentary paid so much attention to this one point. It lacks so much logic. Next, let's look at Progress's Rice Scum defense video. Oh boy, that's gonna get you a lot of commentator pussy.
iDubbbz loves with this Rice Scum content cop. He loves to remove context.
Most of Progress's video defending Rice Scum is just defending him for his flexing. Progress doesn't know why people have a problem with it or why iDubbbz criticizes Rice for it, but I'm gonna show you these two clips from the content cop.
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with having expensive taste. The problem arises when you're obnoxious about it.
$800 off-white $2,000.
$450.
I don't think the problem was that Rice Scum flexes, period. The problem is that he flexes to a point where it becomes fucking irritating.
Just in general, the idea of flexing isn't inherently wrong in any way, because it's not like you're lying, like it's not a bad thing.
The other point about Rice flexing his hoodie and it was taken out of context is fucking retarded as well.
Then at 11:02 is where another part of manipulation from iDubbbz comes in. He says that he is going down the street and just flexing on random people, which, once again, isn't entirely true.
Because if iDubbbz didn't take out those parts of that clip, it still would have been the same exact end result. FaZe Banks explains that the line isn't as long as Rice says, so it's not flexing. Rice stops to take a picture with a kid, so it's not flexing. He's walking down the long line fast, so that means he's not flexing, even though people obviously see his hoodie. Then Progress just adds a bunch of dumb shit like, he's not flexing because in the same video he buys a used car. Yes, Progress actually said that.
I also like that iDubbbz decided to leave out that from that same vlog of him walking down the street, it was actually his new car video, which in it he states that he bought a used Range Rover. I know Range Rovers are expensive still.
Hey Josh, so I heard you're making a video about Progress.
No, I just finished editing.
Oh, well, good luck with that. I'm just gonna, you know, I got stuff to do, but I hope you have a good time. Alright, I'll see you later, buddy. Alright, bye.
Like a man.
Shit.
What's poppin'?
Ladies and gentlemen, this video was criticism. You know, the thing that Progress claims he can take, but he obviously can't. It was criticism. Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, maybe there was a little bit more. I did add in a couple of jokes, you know, for the kiddies. But I have no reason to hate Progress. I mean, he unfollowed me on Twitter once. I don't know why. He didn't do anything to me personally. I just think he had issues that needed to be talked about in a video. How much you want to bet he's gonna respond with a diss track?
Josh's phone is good.
Little bit of a quick update. You know that I'm Alex video that Progress has been hyping up for a while? It blows! Oh.